bike guys and bike gals. We told you that we would have some footage from the Vegas, so stick around. Okay, just to give you a heads up, the Vegas to Reno race put on Best in the Desert. It literally goes from just outside of Las Vegas clear up to near Reno. They actually can't run it right into town, but they run it to adjacent little towns outside. So we went from Bikeguysoffroad Valley. This is where the start is, where Chris starts the race, and then at the end of the day, we end up in Dayton, Nevada, which is 539 miles away on this race trail. So, and of course, we had to carve it down from like 12 and a half hours, and probably more video than that. But we carved it down to 3 pieces. We're going to do different videos for each guy. There were 3 riders. Chris started the adventure for us, and I think he was the first bike out about 6:15, and as you can tell in the opening scene, it's just barely getting light, and which makes for very hard to see when you're riding in the heavy dust. Anyway, then after Chris had run out 200 miles from Vegas to Tonopah, then we ended up doing a rider change there, and we'll have that in the second video. Here, we'll show you that as a separate video. But this is Chris getting up to speed and going out there. The first few miles were heavy dust, heavy silt with dangerous rocks in it and that sort of thing. So it took a little while to get through all that dangerous stuff, and then he was back out on a bunch of fast roads and that, heading towards Tonopah. So I just wanted to share this with you, and hope you guys enjoy watching some of this. There's a lot of wide open roads, a lot of high speed. Well, thanks guys for sticking around and watching the race or the first third of the race as far as that goes. And stick around for the next episode, which will probably be next week, when Joe gets on the bike and he'll take over and he's going to ride.
Don't ride above your head and don't ride any faster than you can see. It's going to be dusty.
Well, welcome back, bike guys. We're on the Vegas to Reno run here. The best in the desert. Vegas to Reno race, 539 miles. And our second rider just got on. Joe is Arizona resident. He came up to help us with this race. Lifetime friend of Chris's, and he decided to jump in with us and give it a shot. So he took the middle section. So Chris has already put in 200 miles, and then Joe just got on, and Joe's going to go 200 miles. So it's going to be interesting to see how this goes, because the desert changes as we go along. Joe had some sections that were rocky, and there's even a surprise tunnel in the thing. Wait till you see that. That's pretty interesting. But we wanted you to be able to ride along with us and kind of get an idea of what this kind of road race is like. So we got Joe gassed up again, and he's ready to head back out. And I say a road race. That's just kind of my way of viewing these things, because we're used to closed course desert racing, where you do a lot of single track, a lot of whoop-de-doo sections, canyons and stuff like that. And this type of race, the race trail is set up. They run buggies, they run UTVs and side-by-sides, and they run race trucks. The big high-dollar race trucks and that sort of thing, they're staging behind us. So the bikes get to go first, and it makes for a very interesting race. It's not very many times you get on your dirt bike and go 200 miles and average 50 miles an hour with bursts of speed up to 90 or more. And I just thought we'd want to share this with you. Joe got some really good video here. I hope you enjoy it as much as I did. And stick around. We're going to just let you watch and see what happens. Well, thanks for sticking around and watching Joe make mincemeat of this desert trail out here. And we appreciate you guys being part of the Bike Guys family and watching our racing and that sort of thing. It was a lot of fun for us. And Joe's going to bring it on in to the last 200 or the last miles on his 200-mile journey, and then Joel's going to get on. So we'll be talking to you soon. Thanks again for being part. Well, welcome back to the Bike Guys out in the desert at the Vegas to Reno run. This is where I got on the bike at Gabbs, Nevada, little sleepy town out in the desert. And they ran the race course into town, and so we pitted right there. And then this is a speed controlled area, and you probably have already noticed some of those if you've watched the other videos. They have these speed control areas. Well, they just don't want people racing through town or through the pit area. So when we come up on the pit areas and that, they have a 25-mile-an-hour speed. They make you stop as you head into the pit area, and then from there on it's 25 miles an hour until you hit the place where there will be a sign to release you from the 25-mile-an-hour zone. So here we go. And these deserts are big and fast and that sort of thing, but there's plenty of things out there to do a rider in. So you really got to be paying attention, keep a high level of concentration as you go. Just like with this guy that got by me here coming down the canyon. I ended up catching him later and passing him back, but I hadn't been on the bike very long, and I wasn't completely comfortable yet at running at the speeds we were going. So as you go along, it looks like just a smooth graded road, but there'll be a washout, there'll be a big rock that's kicked out in the lane. There are various different obstacles and things that you gotta work around as you're going along. So the film doesn't do it a great justice, but you can get a feel for the speeds that are going and that sort of thing. So what ends up happening is you got to pay attention out here. It takes a high level of concentration because there's a lot of places where we're running in the 70 and 80 mile an hour range, and then you come over a hill and you're down to 25 or something like that. And you're looking around like this is going into a pit area, and we're just, this is the Rawhide pit. And this is one of those controlled sections with 25 miles an hour till I get around the pit area, and then it'll open back up again. But I thought you guys might want to just see what this kind of stuff looks like. At the end of the day, I'm not physically wore out. I'm a little bit tired, you know, but not terribly tired, but you're mentally tired because, boy, you're really focusing as you're going. So anyway, that's kind of how that goes. I'm going to back out here for a minute and let you just watch the race, and then I'll throw a comment in at the end. Well, thanks a lot for joining us on this wild adventure. I'm glad you got a chance to see what this desert racing long distance stuff is a lot like. It's quite a bit different than what goes on in Baja. I don't have any footage from that, but in Baja the roads and stuff are not groomed or anything. They're just rough, rocky whoop-de-doos for miles, and that one's a real physical event to complete because you'll be out there for 3 hours beating your way through whoop-de-doos and big rocks and stuff like that. So it's another step up, but we had a good time. We're glad you guys went with us, and we do appreciate all your comments. We'll talk to you soon.